When you first get your unit, the first things we want to do before we start up is normally this black switch right here on the bottom of the filter is a shutoff switch. Right now it's in shutoff so when I get fuel to the motor. We're going to move that forward. That is a choke lever. This is the fuel lever. So we first make sure that there's fuel in the unit. Then you'll want to put your diesel fuel in right here, or kerosene, can be either way. Make sure you have fuel in there because it will not start up if you don't have fuel. And you want to make sure all your hoses are hooked up, going through the coil, going into the hose reel. You'll want to make sure that you mount, you'll be ready to hook your gun. If the unit's been sitting a while, I would let the water, turn the water on with your garden hose and let this water flush out, because every once in a while you'll get rust and calcium in that all this tubing. Instead of plugging up your nozzle, it'd be nice just to let it flush out. After you, without running the motor, after you do that, you're going to hook up your gun. Make sure you have a nozzle in it. And you'll use the 4 zeros on the 4000. And you're going to use the orifice size 3.5 on the smaller unit, on the 270 motor. So now everything's up and ready to go. You want to make sure your fuel filter's here, everything's ready. Now we're ready to start. If everything's up and ready to go, you're going to turn your choke on. I go full throttle. You're going to turn your ignition key. After it's up and running, you're going to slow your choke down. You're going to turn on your switch. Now this switch is telling everything that it can go ahead and start. It will not start the burner until we have the gun under pressure. When the gun is on and you're washing, this yellow light then will turn on, and that'll tell you that this burner is up and running. And you'll see the burner kick off, and you'll see a little bit of smoke take off, and you know the burner's up and going. You can also here adjust your thermostat. We have a 195-degree thermostat in there. It's going to get up to about 190, 195. If your soap will only go to 140, 160, you can turn it down to 160, and that will set the temperature. When you're all done using this, what you're going to want to do is come over here and shut off the switch. That'll shut all the burner and everything down, but you'll want to run the cold water through it, keep the gun on for about another 3 to 4 minutes. If you cool this burner down before you shut it down, you're going to have less problems with the calcium buildup down the road. They're telling me when you're running 180, 190 degree hot water, some of the water around here, you're going to build calcium in the tubes. When you normally first start up the burners and the coils, when we first start it, you will get a little more smoke. As they start burning and clean out, they will clear right up and there'll be no smoke. If you got smoke, you probably got a bad nozzle or you've got your air adjusted wrong. Also, when they bounce around and move around, it will get a little diesel fuel in there, and that'll have to burn off inside, so that's why you see the smoke. That's all it takes to get up and started. You got to remember you're running 190, 180 to 190 degree hot water, so you want to be very careful aiming at things, holding on to the metal. You want to always hold on to the black grips and the blue gun, and just be careful. It's 190 degree water.